You good?
Yes, I know, I was just taking a breath. Oh god, this is a horrible way to start. We can cut this out later. Welcome to Trouble in Providence. The year's 2013. Winter has fallen over the city. Uptown Providence is busy and bustling, as chain stores and businesses preparing for the holidays. The west side is alive with wintertime festivities, while snow blankets the lawns and homes of central Providence. The downtown area, however, is cold in every sense of the word, gray, as it prepares for the death and starvation of its homeless. Even while the city lives and breathes, it reels from the loss of Jason Montgomery Cole. The downtown area is where you'll find yourselves now. A few days ago, the three of you received letters in the mail calling you to this exact location, on this exact date, at this exact time. The location in particular is a building, short and wide. At its front is a set of double doors. Nearby it is a sign. It's impossible to tell what it once said, as it has been covered with graffiti and various spray-painted graphic imagery. For now, the lights are off inside, and the door is locked. There doesn't seem to be anyone inside. Who will arrive first?
I'm the only other person not muted, so I guess I can go first.
I call not it.
It's okay. I already took the bullet. Y'all are fine.
Okay, so Aiko is the first to arrive. And how does Aiko feel about being called to this strange place with little to no explanation?
Curious, for one. Curiosity is probably the main driving factor of what brings her, alongside a sense of, apprehension. Because something like this is very... Let's just say she's worried about what someone may or may not have to say to her. And she knows that it's dangerous to be here, but she also knows she can take care of herself. So she's more than anything, I guess a little aggravated. Like, oh, taking time out of my goddamn day.
Gotcha. Thank you. Is there anything that she's doing while she passes the time?
She is looking through her cell phone, probably reading the news. Did Twitter exist in 2013?
Yes, I had a Twitter.
Yeah, she's a Twitter girly.
There we go. Okay. So she knows what's happened.
Oh, very much.
She's up to date. Okay. So Aiko is here. Who will be the second to arrive?
I can. Or, well,
Okay.
Angel can.
All right. How does Angel feel about not only the recent events, but about being called here?
Well, she's a little apprehensive because she doesn't want to really be there. She'd rather be doing anything else, but she's been called out, so she knows she may as well go. And she's seen the recent events, so she's not sure why she would be called in because she's like, that doesn't affect me.
Hmm. Does Angel do anything when she arrives at the building and sees someone else there?
Um, Probably just gives her a little wave.
Aiko probably would take a moment to notice Angel and then see her and then be like, oh my gosh, hi! I love your hair.
Angel's just like, oh, thank you.
Did you, like, get called here too by, like, a creepy-ass letter?
Yeah, so it's not just me then?
I guess not. Though nobody seems to really be here, so I don't know if we're on, like, pranked or some shit, but, kind of annoying.
Angel sighs and she's like, if this is a prank, I'm just going back home.
The letters say who they're from.
They do not.
Then when Marcy shows up, she's the last one to get there. She's never exactly been a punctual kind of person. She sees the other two on the steps and immediately calls out, "Hey, you fucks! Are you the reason I got this creepy letter?" And she's like waving it in the air as she walks up.
Angel reacts to that and turns and looks at her and she's like, no, all of us seem to have received this letter.
Echo looks and is like, oh, big girly. Yeah, no, I got one too. It's kind of like giving horror movie vibes.
Marcy like snorts. Yeah, great. So 3 of us.
I guess so. It's nice to meet you both. Is there anyone else gonna show up? Or are we all just gonna stand here in the cold, get to know each other? Maybe it's a meet cute.
She immediately is just like, you. She does not like the implication.
All right. Is there anything else that any of the 3 are going to say?
No.
No.
I think they're just like, why are we here?
Okay. All right, just give me a sec. Well, as the 3 of you are talking, a silver car pulls up to the sidewalk, and out steps a man, an older man, with a graying ponytail and bangs. He's wearing glasses. He's decently tall. He gets out of the car. He has his keys in hand. He's fiddling with them, looking down. And he looks up, and he stops. He says, oh, heavens, you're all on time. My, forgive me. And he walks past you, and he goes to the door to unlock it.
Hi, mister. She looks him over and is like very much taking like stock of him, like, okay, this is a guy. And she probably notices immediately that he looks too fancy for downtown. So she's like, okay. But she's kind of just internalizing it. Like, okay. Kind of fancy dude. Hopefully not a creep.
And what do the other 2 think of this stranger that has finally fucking arrived?
As
Angel sees him. Oops, sorry.
Oh, no, you go ahead. I wouldn't.
Oh.
Go ahead.
No, you can go.
Too late, I already said it.
Hey. No, you go.
Dragon, I heard you talking first, so you can go.
Alright, fine. As he's going to unlock the door, Marcy leans on it. Is he taller than Marcy?
No, he is 5'11".
She glares down at the guy and she's just like, who the hell are you?
Well, rudeness aside, introductions can wait until we're inside and out of the cold.
She just kind of like rolls her eyes at that. Ugh.
What does Angel think? What does Angel have to say?
Angel probably doesn't think much yet. She has, of course, figured out that they've all been called here for something. She's just trying to figure out what, and she sees this like well-off guy, and she's like, "Oh, great. This is probably some sort of stupid thing to get us to buy something."
Okay, well, without further ado, Liam opens the door, and he holds it open for you, and he kind of ushers you in, and he says, after you.
probably the first one to stalk inside because she was leaning on the door.
Of course, of course.
Angel's gonna head in as quick as she can too. She doesn't
Yeah,
like being
Aiko. I was
outside.
gonna say Aiko like motions for Angel to go in first, just because she feels like it's polite, because Angel is clearly her elder. But well, she's older. She's an older. She's not like old, but like she's an older looking woman, because Aiko's in her like early 20s. So,
Don't call her that.
but Aiko follows in last, and she's like, "Okay, we're inside now. Introductions, because I don't like following a weird, creepy man who gave me an anonymous letter into his weird, abandoned building of doom."
It's not a building of doom. And he turns on the light. And in front of you all is a lobby. There's 3 comfortable-ish looking couches. There is a TV, though it is shut off. And to the left, you see a very plain looking desk and some filing cabinets. And behind that is a door. Well, I suppose some introductions are in order, as well as why I've called you all here. Is this all of you? There weren't anyone else?
Was someone else
Got any
supposed to
other
show?
letters?
No, no, I suppose not. Well then, without further ado, my name is Liam Spade, investigative specialist and not a detective. As for why I've called you all here, I have reason to suspect that you all may be involved in the murder of one Jason Montgomery Cole.
Angel is going to immediately scoff and laugh at that. She just goes, "Me? Murder Jason? As if. I would not waste my time putting his spit on my shoes."
Well, you will have all the time in the world to tell me all about it when I interview you.
Oh, interviews. That's funny. You think we have to sit here for an interview? Do you have any proof, or is this conjecture?
I do, actually. I think that you, of all people, would be very interested to see that.
Me of all people. She's squinting a
Exactly.
little.
Again, we will have all the time in the world to talk about it when I bring you all back into my office. One at a time, of course. For further context, I have been tasked with interviewing the 3 of you personally and using my best judgment to see how to go forward with what I find.
Yeah, sure. Where's your proof of that? You got a badge or something?
I'm not a detective, so I don't have a badge, but I can assure you that the party that has hired me is very, very reputable.
Which is why they asked you to take 3 girls to an abandoned building and interview them individually, right?
It's not abandoned, it's... I think you are making this out to be far worse than it really is.
No,
Goodness,
it's kind of a little creepy. I mean, you didn't even sign the letter with like your name or something. What, were you afraid if you told us outright what you were going to interview us for that we'd just ditch? Maybe that's what happened with the 4th one, huh?
Angel keeps giggling because she's just enjoying where this conversation's going. She's enjoying watching this little guy get absolutely decimated by women.
Marcy isn't laughing, but I'm having too hard time not laughing at all of this.
Well, by all means, if any of you don't want to be here, you are certainly free to walk out the door, but do know that that is very, very telling. If the 3 of you are innocent, then allow me to prove as such. But for now, I have reason to suspect you.
Boo, you whore. Fine.
Hey, I like this one.
Right.
Okay, let me step in. And Angel just kind of steps up a little bit and she's like, "Fine. I will go along with your silly little interview because I know I haven't done anything. And I don't know about them, of course, but it seems like they haven't done anything either. So this is a waste of your time.
We will see about that. Well, since you have so graciously volunteered, it seems I will be taking you back first. You may follow me to my office. The two of you are free to get comfortable. Just don't
Oh, no.
touch anything. Leave Kelly alone. Don't break anything, please.
How are we supposed to get comfy if we're not allowed to touch anything? That's part of getting comfy.
She just kind of stalks over to one of the couches and flops down as he's speaking.
There. Follow her example. Obviously, I meant you could sit down.
She's man-spreading a lot. Like no one else could sit on that couch.
Heavens, this is going to be a handful already. Right, well.
Heavens! And she just goes over and sits on the other couch.
Right. You, miss, you may follow me to my office. He takes you back to the door behind the desk. And by you, I mean Angel, of course.
Mm-hmm. Angel's gonna, roll her eyes at the fact that she's been called Miss. But she'll follow him. She'll go along with this just to see what happens.
Okay. So the room behind the desk is obviously an office. And the desk there is a little bit messy. Next to it is a wastebasket, and he politely moves that out of the way. There are two chairs, one in front of the desk and one behind. And behind the desk is another door, but the shades are drawn behind it so you cannot see past it. On top of the desk is a folder, and next to it is a tape recorder. Liam sits down, and he motions for you to do the same.
Angel takes a seat and crosses her arms and her legs over, and she leans back and she's like, well, if you want to interview me and you're wasting my time, the least you can do is offer a lady a cigarette.
Oh, I'm sorry, I don't smoke. I don't keep those. Is there anything else I can get you? Anything to make you comfortable? A drink? All I have is water, unfortunately.
No, I guess not then.
My apologies. Now, Miss, let's see here. And he opens up the folder. And he's flipping through. He says, Miss, Ada Farley? Or do you prefer to go by another name?
Lately, I have been going by Angel. It's a little nickname of mine. I would prefer if you would be at least kind enough to call me that.
But of course. Miss Angel, then. Miss Angel, do I have your permission to record this interview?
Do I have a choice?
I give everyone a choice. Either way, it's going to be on file. This just makes it easier for me.
Well then fine. You can go right ahead and record.
Thank you very much. Now, I have everything I need on you, but I would like you to state your name and age for the record.
Well, you already have my name, Angel, or I guess for the record, you can call me Ada Farley, and I'm 57 years old.
I see. Now, tell me about yourself. Describe yourself in your own words.
Describe myself? Why,
Yes.
this feels weird. You said I was here for a murder investigation. Why am I describing myself?
We will get to that. Please. Even just a few words will help.
I don't know exactly how I would describe myself. Let's just go with well off, I guess. It's the best
Well
thing.
off.
It's the best thing a woman can be.
I see. Well, looking at your file, I see you grew up with a single mother and a brother, it seems, And you're a familiar face at the Central Providence Library?
I volunteer down there. I help Lillian out whenever she needs, and she does need a little bit of help. It gets me out of the house, gets me some exercise. Plus, she's a real nice lady. Don't drag her into this.
Oh, heavens no, I wouldn't dream of it. Lillian is a very nice lady. I just find it surprising that such a well-off lady as yourself would be, well, for lack of a better word, wasting your time at some library.
It's not a waste of my time. It is something I am enjoying doing. Unlike this. This is a waste of my time.
It certainly seems that way to you, doesn't it? Well, with that out of the way, it seems like you want to get right down to business. Do I have that right?
You certainly do. Faster we can do this, the faster I can get out of here.
Oh, of course. I don't intend to keep you here all day. Miss Angel, tell me, how would you describe your relationship with the recently deceased Jason Cole?
Poorly.
Poorly.
He was a downright bastard. We used to go out, but it didn't really work out.
No? Would you mind giving me some more detail about how the two of you got along?
Oh, you want some detail? Well, the sex was incredible, let me tell you. I can sit here and tell you all about that.
Well, actually, no, that's quite unnecessary. That's a little... I'm not intending to get too personal here. And he looks visibly uncomfortable.
Angel smirks, knowing that she's made him, uncomfortable, knowing she's also wasting his time. But she leans back again and she just goes, well, fine then. I suppose for the most part, we got along well enough. He treated me right, he treated me like an angel, and he spoiled me rotten. I won't go into too many details about that since you obviously seem uncomfortable.
Hmm. Well, with how well he treats you, well, I suppose it comes off as a surprise that things ended as they did, and I'm very well aware of how things ended. And I'm
Oh,
sure you
you
know
and
how I
half
know.
the town.
More like half the world. Forgive me.
Well, it wasn't my fault. If the jackass hadn't been sleeping around with other women while he was trying to be a good boyfriend, I wouldn't have had to yell at him. I wouldn't have had to flip out like that. It's his own fault.
Yes, I suppose it is. I mean, the sheer rage you must have felt, the betrayal. Why, I can't even fathom.
I've been cheated on before. I guess it's just a little bit different whenever it comes from such a rich and well-off man. I expected a little bit better from him. But I guess all men are just the same.
Right. Well, so that made you very, very angry. Would
You
it
could
have made you angry enough to, say, want revenge? I mean, I certainly couldn't blame you. I mean, if I were to be betrayed in such a manner, I mean, I'd be furious. I would do whatever it took to get even.
get even. You're thinking I killed him because he was such a bastard to me. Don't worry. I got no revenge. Not like that, at least, because I am a proper woman. I spit in his coffee pot.
I see. Truthfully, I'm not saying anything that isn't already rumor. Because it is rumor, you know.
And rumors are just that. Rumors. There's no need to
Oh,
believe every single one of them.
oh, I'm sure, but I am also sure that a very smart woman, as yourself, has the mind to know that rumors can be very, very dangerous should they fall in the wrong ears. Detrimental, even.
And a smart man like yourself, like you're claiming to be, should also know that a quick little investigation will show that there's no reason to believe the rumors because they're not true.
I see. Well, Miss Angel, believe it or not, I do believe you.
She looks a little shocked at that because she thought she was getting accused and she's like, "You do? Then
I
why
do.
am I here?"
I said I had reason to suspect you. I never said directly that you and the others were suspect.
"Oh, well, you certainly didn't make it seem that way."
I apologize. But again, you are a smart woman. You know how nasty rumors can get, how detrimental they can be to one's reputation, and for someone as classy as yourself, well, you would hardly want that. What if I told you that there was a way you could clear your name, your reputation?
You're gonna have to be a little bit more specific with that.
But of course, someone in this city killed Jason Cole. And if it wasn't you, well then, who was it?
I don't
I
know.
will admit, you have had connections to Jason that I have not. You have insight to who he was that I did not, and that I can never have. Things that would prove useful to me in my investigation. I am making you an offer.
And all that's in it for me is clearing of my name, which I could do anytime.
Could you?
Of course I could. There's no reason to suspect me. I haven't done anything. You you said you believed me, so why wouldn't everybody else?
We're both smart people, and I'd like to think that we have a degree of rationality, some that others may not have. You are suspect, even if it's not by me. And Jason had connections. If word got out that you could have done it, well, I fear that people far worse than me may be interested in more than just an interview with you. And that is not a threat, Miss Angel. That is a warning.
It feels like a threat.
Hardly. I'm trying to protect you. It is my job to protect. I may not be a detective, but that doesn't mean I don't want to help. But I need your help in return.
So, let me get this straight then. So, somebody out there, not you, is suspecting me and those two others out there of murdering Jason, who, by the way, I haven't seen since our big blowout. I don't know how they're connected to him, but I suppose you'll figure that out. But you don't think any of us had anything to do with it? So what, you want our help figuring out who did it?
Yes. Frankly, yes.
Well, tell me this then. Answer me this then. Not
Very
a
well.
detective. Why should I waste my time helping somebody figure out who murdered my ex that cheated on me and left me alone? Give me a good reason, and you have me.
If not for his sake, then for yours. And, well, if someone were to think that you were involved, what would they do to the people around you to get to you? Miss Lillian is a very lovely woman. And again, this is not a threat. I am trying to protect you. I am trying to protect Miss Miranda. If not for his sake, if not for yours, then for hers.
Well, it seems like you're trying to drag her into this anyway. I know. Say what you want. Say what you want about protecting her and all that. Fine. But I will wait until the other two have been interviewed as well. And if they also agree, I'll come along. But if they don't, I'm going home and I'm taking a nap.
But of course. And I'm not forcing you. I'm not here to twist your arm. I will even give you some time. 2 days' time. And should you decide you want to help me, then simply come. And if you don't, then I suppose I'll have my answer, won't I?
I suppose then you will. Though I would say you should probably not say that you're not twisting my arm if you keep saying that people are going to come after me. 'Cause I know that you say you're not a detective, you don't suspect us, but how am I supposed to trust you after you sent us all strange letters without signing your name on them?
I admit I should have had better foresight with that, but if you had known that you were going to be here for an interview, would you have even shown up?
Yes, of course.
Oh, well, I suppose it was an error on my part.
If there's
Well,
anything anybody knows about me, it's that I love talking about myself. I would have come in an instant. I don't like the idle threats, though, that seem to be being made about the
I
people I
couldn't.
care about.
I am not here to threaten you. I am here to warn you. I am here to give you an avenue to protect somebody that you care about. Oh, I hope that the other two won't be nearly as difficult. Well,
This is me at my easiest.
oh God. Well, either way, I do believe that this will wrap up our interview. You are free to return to the lobby. I'm going to collect my notes and then call the next one in shortly.
Well, I guess I will see you out there shortly. And then Angel just kind of gets up and she she does, push her chair in a little bit roughly because she still feels like her time is being wasted and she heads on out to where the others are sitting.
Upon seeing Angel re-enter the lobby, Aiko looks up from her phone and is just like, "So, was he creepy?"
Creepy? You'll have to make that decision for yourself. Weird? Yes.
Oh, fun. He's like a kooky old man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, shortly after, Liam leaves the office and he comes back into the lobby. He's like, all right, well, who's next?
Dragon, would you like to go, or?
I'm kind of indifferent. I'm just really enjoying watching this all play out.
I feel like it might be funny if Marcy goes last, if only because I feel like she'll be the most difficult. So we can have like a slide
Yeah.
of worse and worse.
Yeah.
Okay. Aiko hops to her feet. She's like, "Oh, me! I want to go. I want to talk. I love talking about myself."
Oh, well, I suppose you and Miss Angel will get along in that regard. Well, come along then. And he leads you back to the office.
Okay, Mr. Old Detective. And she enters.
I'm not a detective.
She hops down into the seat without having to be, like, motioned to or told to. She just sits. She's like, "Yeah, well, you kind of have, like, detective vibes. Like an old noir type, you know?"
I'm going to choose to take that as flattery.
Go ahead.
He closes the door, and he sits down behind the desk, and he says, "All right. Well, before we begin, do I have your permission to record this interview?"
Oh, sure. I bet you'll love listening to my voice later.
Right. Well, state your name and age for the record.
Oh, I'm Aiko Najire. I am 24 years old.
I see. And I already have quite a bit on you in my record, but for the sake of the interview, I would like you to describe yourself in your own words.
You have a lot on me. Okay, creepy weirdo. I guess I would describe myself as lovable. I care about people and I try to be really nice and uplifting. So that's how I describe myself.
Liam looks doubtful, but he nods. He's like, "Right, well, let's see what we have on you, Miss Aiko." And he opens up her folder, and it's a little thick. A little thicky folder. Damn. Sorry.
Damn. Wow, you really like me, huh? Kind of
Hardly.
weird.
Right, well. And he's kind of just like reading off of it. He's like, "Well, born to wealthy parents, it seems, no doubt involved in that business degree. How do you find your studying? Do you like it?"
No, it's boring as hell. I'm kind of only doing it to really make my parents happy, but I don't really mind going into business because it means I'll be well off enough to focus on other pursuits.
Parental pressure. That must be hard.
Can be.
I sympathize. All right, well, nothing criminal, it looks like. At least on paper.
You seem really suspicious of me.
Do you feel like I have reason to be?
No, that's why I'm kind of pissed that you're suspicious of me.
Well, tell me, what are your thoughts on the recently deceased Jason Montgomery Cole?
I don't know. I never really met him. I know that my parents did business with him, and I guess I would occasionally go to like those weird business dinners, but I never like talked to him. He seemed kind of like a creep a little bit, not in like a like creeps on girls kind of way, but more of like a like maybe not a creep, a sleaze, especially considering what I heard about him and the lady out there. I do know who she is.
I see. Now, what do you think of the new CEO?
She God. She opens her mouth for a moment before closing it, and you can tell that she almost immediately started talking a bunch before quieting herself down. And just goes, "He seems alright."
Really? Let's see what I have on him. Rather young for such a difficult role.
I feel kind of bad for him. It must be a lot of pressure.
It must be. You know, at your age, I would hardly find such a boy to be a heartthrob, though it seems you may disagree.
What what gives you that impression?
Aiko, you seem like a very smart young lady, very cunning, very sneaky, but maybe not sneaky enough. And he opens up that folder again, and he takes a collection of photos, and he slides them across the desk. And within those photos, well, it's her. And in those photos, she is also taking photos. She's in places that she shouldn't be, in someone's backyard, around their place of business. I do have reason to suspect that you may disagree.
She kind of like rolls her eyes, like, okay, fuck. You know, it's kind of creepy to take pictures of people like that. And I know you're going to call me a hypocrite for saying that, but it's different when it's like an old man, okay, doing it to like a girl in her early 20s. You get where I'm coming from with that. Like, yes, it is a little hypocritical, and I will admit it, but...
Oh god, it's hardly like that.
I know, but it is still a little iffy. Ugh, I know.
This is what you find issue with, not the...
Well,
oh heavens. Surely you must see how this looks.
yeah, I know how it looks. But it... She kind of crosses her arms, and she's just like, look, it's not that bad. He's a big CEO. He's busy. I don't want to bother him.
But this was before.
Well, he was still
became
working at the
CEO.
same business.
And so, I mean, God, I'm hardly someone well versed in romance, but you couldn't have just talked to him? Maybe caught him on the bus, asked for his number? God, what is it with young people these days and courting?
Look, I just wanted to know more about him before I took the leap. You know, like how he likes certain things done, or his favorite color. Just to be prepared. I want it to go right. Because he's gonna be my boyfriend, and I need it to go right.
He's going to be your boyfriend.
Well, if all goes well. I'm an optimist.
I see. You're also very elusive. I mean, goodness, I was lucky to even get these photos. You are very, very oddly difficult to track down, you know. And that, on its own, is very suspicious.
Okay, so you've caught me for the crime of having a big stupid crush on a big cute boy. How the hell does this connect to Jason?
I've got you on the crime of stalking.
Oh, boo-hoo. I still want to hear how this connects to Jason.
Jared was the vice CEO of Jason Cole. How am I to know that you wouldn't have done something drastic to try to get to Jared? And that's...
Oh, no, hold on. Sorry. How would this get me close to Jared? Like, let's kind of elaborate on this little brain pattern that you have. Me killing his boss, who, you know what? I'm just gonna drop some of that stalking knowledge. I know that he actually really liked his boss, so that would have been a really shit way for me to get close to him.
And that's precisely the thing, isn't it? Why, you take someone that's so close to somebody and they become desperate to fill that void with someone else.
Ew, I didn't want to fill the void of his creepy boss. I want to be his fucking girlfriend. You are so full of shit.
Regardless, this doesn't look good. Even you must admit that. I mean, I could get you on stalking charges for this alone.
Oh, are you going to? Are you gonna blackmail me? That hardly seems sporting.
It is not my intent to blackmail you. I am here to make an offer.
To make an offer for me to do something in return for you not getting me on stalking charges? That sounds like blackmail.
It's not. These files are not going to leave this firm. I mean, I don't want to get involved with the police any more than you do.
What do you want from me?
I want to commend you. You're clearly skilled in staying undetected. I mean, so much so that I had a hard time tracking you down. That is a very good skill to have, one that may prove useful to me.
Okay.
I'm going to be frank with you, Miss Aiko. Despite this evidence, I can't find it in myself to believe that you would do this.
Yeah, because I fucking didn't.
Yes. But somebody out there did.
Okay. You want my help solving the crime so that they don't come after me. Honestly, I don't give a shit if someone thinks I did it. That doesn't matter to me. But I do have a, let's say, not counter offer, but like, I want to discuss terms. Okay? Because if I'm going to help you, it's not going to be for keeping myself safe from some outside invader. You said it yourself. I'm hard to track. No. I want something else. And I will help you, but you are going to help me get what I want.
You act as if I haven't considered that already. Consider what this could do for you. I mean, finding the killer of Jared O'Connor's boss? I mean, this is your perfect excuse to get closer to him. Maybe even talk to him directly. Doesn't that sound enticing?
You read my mind.
I did.
I want to be able to maybe say, if I'm helping you on or off the record, have a way to, I don't know, interview him about what happened and, finally really talk to him and maybe, I don't know, offer him like some comfort because it really is sucky that his boss died even though I didn't do it. But there was another thing.
Of course.
For every step closer to solving this case, I want your word that the minute it's solved, those pictures are burned.
You have my word.
Fine. And she just hops to her feet.
Oh, that easy?
Well,
I mean,
duh.
I was going to offer to give you time, but I suppose, well, this was, well, not easier than I thought, but
I like to make the most of things, even when they suck ass. So, this could be an opportunity.
oh, but of course, Miss Optimist.
You got it, Mr. Detective. Sorry, not a detective.
Not a detective. Well then, seems like you and I will be working together from here on out. Hopefully,
Yay!
along with the other two.
OMG, it'll be so fun. We can have like girls' nights.
Nothing about this is fun. We are not going to have girls' nights. I'm a 50-year-old. Okay, you are free to leave. Just, God, let the next one know I'm ready.
Okie dokie. And she walks out the door and she's like, oh my god, guys, he's like so nice.
Angel's wondering what in the world happened in there that she thinks that he's nice, and she looks at her and she's like, what did he give you, a cigarette? He didn't give me any.
Oh, no, I don't smoke. I mean, like, he's a bitch, but, like, in a fun way, kind of saucy,
Well, then he must have two completely different personalities, because I didn't get anything like that with him.
Oh, I'm sorry, babe. Oh, by the way, he's super duper ready for you, Miss big, sexy lady?
Marcy.
Hi, Marcy.
Oh, she does. She doesn't. Aiko gets the strongest glare when the word sexy leaves Aiko's mouth.
Oh, sorry. Do you not like those kind of compliments? I'll tone it down. I just think you're
No.
very hot, but that's okay. That's like on the down low.
She like shoulder checks her as she's going past. She like deliberately bumps her really hard.
Oof. Wow. Playing
And
rough.
walks into the office.
Aiko
All
goes
right.
back to sitting on the couch. She's just chilling. She looks chipper. She looks like she came out of the room happier than she was going into it.
God, I have so little notes to prepare for this. It's great. All right. All right. So William is already seated, and he motions to the seat in front of him. He's like, "Ah, Miss Mendez, please take a seat."
Right, Spade, let's get this over with. And she doesn't sit in the chair correctly. She sits on the back of the chair and puts one of her feet on his desk to steady herself. And she's like deliberately doing this to loom over him as she just kind of glares at him. Fuck do you want?
Yeah. He like he looks down and like her shoe on the desk with like utter like disdain, and he just sighs and he knows that he's fucking in for it. It's like, right, well, I'll give you the same spiel that I gave the others. Do I have your permission to record this interview?
Why should you?
I'll take that as a yes.
She just kind of like rolls her eyes. Fine, if you have to.
Well, your comfort is a priority here. It's entirely up to you.
Just record the damn thing already.
Very well, very well. And he presses record, and he says, "If you will, state your name and age for the record."
Marcy Mendez, 31.
Thank you. Right. Now, if I may ask, where were you on the date of Jason Montgomery Cole's death?
She like thinks for a minute. What date was that again?
It was December 3rd?
Oh, December 3rd.
He looks exasperated already.
Oh yeah, I was at home. My my alarm clock was. You can kind of imagine the flashback to the previous day, her probably breaking the alarm clock. My alarm clock didn't go off, so I overslept. So I didn't make it into work.
Well, I did see that you did not make it into work that day. Do you have an alibi that you were at home that day, the entire day?
Jeez, what are you trying to do? Accuse me of murder?
That is the gist, somewhat.
I barely knew the guy. Why the fuck would I kill him? I mean, I knew about him. Everyone knows about him. But, like, do you have a motive, or is this just you weren't there? You weren't at work.
Oh, heavens. Well, let's take a look at your record here. Let's see, we have vandalism, property damage, and what is this? Workplace harassment. Ah, I see. That's a rather light way to phrase a fist fight in the break room. Goodness. Well, disregarding that, how would you describe your relationship with Nastasia Axon?
Oh yeah, that bitch. And it's like the tone of someone who is bringing up an old enemy, but she's got the biggest grin on her face as she says it.
Yes,
Ages.
that. Right. It seems that you two have a very colorful history.
That's one way to say it. I used to hate her guts. She's
Yes.
she's all right nowadays, though. You tell her I said that I'll break your nose.
My lips are sealed. he looks he looks just a little intimidated. Oh. You wouldn't do anything to, say, jeopardize Nastasia's employment, would you?
The fuck? Would I want to do that?
Well, you tell me. I mean, it seems that you two did have a very colorful history, and even if, some hatchets have been buried, who knows, maybe there's some old wounds, never got quite patched, never healed.
Please.
Well, that's not a yes or a no.
It's a no.
All right, then. I'm going to be very, very frank. I know this downtown area like the back of my hand. I know when someone who shouldn't be here is here. And I know when someone who shouldn't leave it leaves. And I will leave it to you as to what I am talking about exactly. I don't think I should tell you that the kind of crowd you run with can say quite a lot about who you are as a person.
Glares at him, but she's letting him talk for now.
You do know what I'm referring to, don't you?
Mm.
After all, I mean, you do anything for a good old friend.
Maybe not anything.
No, but you would do this. You would cover for them, even if it means associating yourselves with less than desirable parties. Ones who are very, very suspect.
What are you trying to say, man?
I think you know exactly what I'm trying to say. But, again, I will be upfront. For you to be responsible for the death of Jason Cole would also mean to greatly jeopardize not only Nastasia's employment, but I mean, she could be suspect as well, and I don't think that you would risk that. Colorful history aside.
She just kind of laughs. Well, then I guess it's a good thing I didn't fucking do it.
Wonderful. I believe you.
Great. Now that we got that out of the way, why the fuck am I here then? You believe I didn't do it. I don't think you think any of the other two did it. Fuck do you want from me?
I want your help.
What?
Take it. Sorry. You heard me. I want your help.
With what?
Oh god, I really have to spell it out, don't I? To find the real killer? The real suspect?
Okay. Because you think other people gonna accuse me or Nastasia of doing it?
You and I both know how Nastasia can be. She's temperamental. I mean, looking at her record, her history of violent crimes, it is impressive as it is frightening.
Yeah, she kind of like trails off, catches herself. She's like, I'm not gonna say more. She's like, wait, no, I shouldn't be saying nice things about her to this weirdo.
I mean, look at you. Big, strapping, violent woman. I mean, I think there's a bit of fun to be had. Hunting down a killer. Who knows, maybe even bashing a few heads along the way. Sounds fun, doesn't it? That sounds up your alley of Entertainment?
Yeah, I guess it does.
Frankly, I need muscle. I'll pay you. I need help.
Oh, you'll pay me. Now we're talking.
I didn't want to, oh god, I didn't want to have to go to this measure, but desperate times do call for desperate measures, don't they? I'll expend every penny I can, but is that something that would interest you?
She's got this big old grin on her face. Sure thing, buddy.
Oh, well, that was
You keep the
rather
cops
easy.
off. She's like, hey, you keep the cops off my back for anything that happens, and I'm in.
Well, unfortunately, I do not associate myself with the city's police department. I'll do what I can. At the very most, I could try to pull a few strings, maybe keep you in employment with Montgomery Coal Enterprise despite your history of taking off work.
She just kind of like nods, like, yeah, sure.
So we have an agreement then.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Are we done here?
I suppose so.
She just like pushes off his desk and turns to walk out of the room, and the chair falls over as she gets up.
It's like, oh, you don't. All right. He just shakes his head and follows her out. Well, that is the last interview. Everybody is back out into the lobby. Does anyone have anything to say?
I mean, Aiko peeks up and just waves like, hi.
Marcy gives her another dirty look. She doesn't sit down again, but she does kind of like walk over and lean on the back of one of the couches.
All right. Well, that concludes today's interviews. And I'm sure the three of you are very well aware by now of what exactly I called you here for. I apologize for the whole mystery of it and for misleading you. You must understand, I'm desperate.
Shows.
Right,
I don't really mind.
thank you.
It was important for me to learn what I learned here today.
I suppose it was. Well then, do the three of you have any questions?
Try and get in contact with us again, or when should we hear from you?
Yes. Well, if the three of you have agreed to assist me in finding Jason Cole's killer, the only thing I expect is that in 2 days' time, you come back to this very location at the very same time.
Sure. That it?
I suppose so, if there's no other questions.
I can't think of any.
Very well. Miss Angel?
Oh, shit. No questions from me.
Very well then. The three of you are free to go, and the next time we meet, I'll be giving you all your first assignment.
Ooh, how professional. She's at her feet.
Stalking out the door.
She looks at Angel and is like, well, I guess Miss Marcy over there is not sticking around, but if we're gonna be working together, maybe we could, like, I don't know, hang out a little.
Angel looks at her and, like, she kind of giggles a little bit because, oh, this girl is actually a little cute. And Angel's like, sure, I have nothing else happening today anyway.
Oh my gosh, yay! Oh, I should show you. There's this great cafe. They have the best bubble tea. Oh my gosh.
And Angel gets up from where she was sitting and just gets ready to leave. And she looks at Marcy, but
She paused in the door when Aiko said her name so she could listen in on what you guys were saying. So she's not entirely disinterested.
and Angel looks at her and she's like, "Would you like to join us?"
For bubble tea?
Yeah, it's super yummy.
Fine. Sure.
Oh, gee, press that out.
Aiko like lights up. She's so happy. She's like, yay!
Keep that cute and bubbly shit away from me.
You got it. And she's happy to lead them out to like her favorite little cafe spot.
Okay, does that wrap everything up then? Or...
That does.
That was fun.
Alright, fuck yeah. That's it. Session 0's a wrap.
Shall I stop
should-
recording?
Yep.